subscribing to the channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel, can I get you to do me a quick favor? Yes, you. Stop right now and when I get through clowning, we can get into this next topic, right? Listen, I know a few of you was like, I missed the subscribe dance. I missed the subscribe dance. Sis had to retire that joker. When I say life has been lifing, things have been happening, so much has been going on. I had to retire that dance. I was just doing enough to create content. Bienvenido, and Wahine. I hope each and every one of you feels welcome. It is Destiny back in the house. Listen. Let's do a topic on fraud. I have done a couple topics tonight. This is my batch creating day, and I've done a couple of heavy topics, and I gotta lighten it up because when I get too deep, my emotions start running wild. And I think my emotions, if my hands are dry, mind your business. I'm always telling y'all that in fun, loving, and lightness. But sometimes my emotions get too deep, and I have to scale back. Because I think I come across angry when I'm talking about stuff I'm passionate about. So I'm going to switch up gears here. I've talked a lot about death in some of my previous topics. You'll catch those videos, hopefully. And I'm just going to lighten it up so I can just revamp and change the energy so I don't just seem angry. My upsetness and my hurt and my sadness, that deep emotion can come off as I'm just mad about some stuff. I don't like that energy, and I can't help how it comes across, but I know it can. So what we're going to talk about next is fraud. We're going to talk about fraud. Those of you who have watched my channel way back last year, you know Smooch. Smooch is sort of kind of part of this channel, but not really. My channel is called CooKiN upConversations for a reason. I'm a talker, if you can't tell, and Smooch was the person that's supposed to be on my channel dealing with like cooking. Like she loves to cook, can cook. And so when I created the channel, it was about, she would think of some elaborate dish or item that she would cook and just do the whole preparation. And maybe by the time she stuck it in the oven to cook it or whatever cooking method she was using, we would sit down and have a conversation about something. Kind of like a podcast type. Like, this is what Smooch is doing today, y'all. She's cooking. We would film it. When it goes in the oven, we would sit down and pull a topic and she and I would talk. So that's where CooKiN upConversations originated from. Unfortunately, our schedules really don't align for us to really get together and do a lot of her cooking. So it's really me running my mouth. I try to incorporate some things that I've started to cook just to keep that portion. I'm never going to like change the name of the channel. So anywho, I said that to say this. Many of you know about Smooch. We've done some lives, if you will. Go check out. We've done some really silly games that we've done under the live tab. You can catch those. You'll know more about Smooch if you don't know who I'm talking about. But anywho, Smooch is a very relevant person in my life, and I had a phone call from her today, a little bit not distraught but upset. And this person has the most calm, cool, collected days ever. My life is one always in shambles, just going and going and going. And I'm like, how do you have such smooth sailing days? So when she calls, you know, I'm upset. Somebody try to spend $3,000 to $5,000 on one of my blank banking accounts. I was like, no ma'am, no sir, no spam, no ham, absolutely not. Some other things was going on in my world that I couldn't really address it then. I had to deal with XYZ, ABC. I said, look, I'm gonna take me a melatonin because my day got so disturbed at like very early in the morning, and I was not through with my sleep. So I said, look, I got to get some more rest. I'm going to tap back in and check on you. You can tell me the story about what happened with someone frauding your account. That's why this topic is about fraud, because this is, again, up close and personal. And I've done another topic on it before. I think it was about seniors. And that topic was asking if you have senior citizens in your life, like help them navigate that thing. Help them, if you're not managing their funds, their finances, their bank accounts, their checkbooks, then at least have conversations with them about how not to speak to people on the phone. Any and everybody that, oh yeah, you remind me of my grandmother. Let's sit in that. Y'all like, well, why are we sitting in it so early destiny? Because it's personal. I used to work fraud detection. So I used to talk to people that used to get defrauded. I used to clear people's bank accounts. I used to send credit cards to them when theirs were tainted and all these other things. So that's just one that used to rub me the absolute wrong way. To always hear somebody say to somebody, oh, you remind me of my grandmother. These are the ones when they was getting over on those seniors, and that would warm them up to them, make them speak to them more, and make them give them all their business. Okay, we're not there. Smooch is not a senior citizen. However, her world was distracted early this morning, just like mine was. And in trying to handle the business that we were trying to handle, her brain was all discombobulated. Like, she almost got off on her work schedule due to this monkey wrench that was thrown in the top of the day. It was just a lot going on. So she's a little distracted. Her normal routine is not smooth sailing, like it's mind your business if my hands ashy. Y'all know the routine. Her day is just not going as smoothly as it normally does, right? So when she gets this phone call about somebody on her account spending $3,000 to $5,000, she's a little rattled, upset, of course. And then, but fast forward, these people are talking to her and they're telling her, you know, your bank account is this, we got to shut this down, see your new cards, all the stuff that the banks really do tell you. I know, I did fraud detection for several years. All these things. And then she's telling the person, look, I'm almost at work, I'm going to have to call back and deal with this, just shut the account down, do what you got to do. And then I think the person called back. I don't remember all the details, but here's the thing. At some point, she either didn't get off the phone, I think the person did call back, and then started telling her to go and move money from her, was it her PayPal or her Cash App account? And she was like, wait a minute. Now, this here don't sound right. You sound like a complete foolish clown. So that's when she said, wait a minute, what's your badge number again? She started asking questions at that point. Long story short, she eventually called her bank, which is kind of weird because doing fraud that she knows I've done, I've always told her those things. When people dial my phone, you don't call my phone asking for anything. Let me repeat that differently. You don't call my phone asking for any information, none. You give it. Who are you? What do you want? Why are you looking for me? That's how I answer my phone. I don't play those games. Not just because I've done fraud. People are just messy. People are just weird. You don't ever call my phone. Yes, do I have so and so and so and so? Why do you want to know? Who are you? What do you want? That's how we do it on this phone that you don't pay any phone bills for. What do you want? What state your business? You don't call me asking questions. So for all the different ways I navigate my phone, Smooch knows that. She has cracked up laughing that there's been times she'll hear me answer my phone. The moment I hear a voice that's not familiar, one, a foreign voice. I don't have people, I mean, I do. I have some friends that are from Jamaica, Haiti. I have friends that with accents, but I don't know any Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Hispanic friends with such an accent that's going to call my phone. And even if I did, I know their voice. So when you call me and I can barely understand you because your accent is so thick, yeah, my name is so and I'm calling for that. Click, and she'll crack up laughing because I don't even engage. I don't know your voice, and the first thing I know is we don't have any business. We don't have no business. I know how my phone operates. Very minimal contact. I don't talk to people a lot. I barely text. So if you're on my phone with a foreign accent, hi, my name is Shima and I'm calling from bye. You getting off my phone. We ain't doing that. So for fraud, for how I talk on my phone, for how I don't talk on my phone, for how I hang up on so many people, yes, my name is so and so and I'm calling with Bright Now Dental. Yes, my name is so and so and I'm calling from whatever legacy something LCC. I don't even know your company. Click, I hang up. I'm not talking to you. I'm hanging up. So it's kind of odd, but again, she was distracted in her day, her routine, that she didn't practice because she loved to say, when she do certain things like me, she'll say, oh, I had one of your moments. That's one of her things. I had one of your moments. I'm thinking, baby, you could have had a whole bunch of my moments. Some people's on your phone talking about your bank account, da da da. Always. Here's the educational part of all of my rambling about what happened to Smooch. When you get those calls, and please pass it along to your parents who might not be seniors, but your grandparents, your parents if they are seniors. Just pass it along to your neighbor if you're talking to them. Don't be on these phones talking to people that's talking about your bank account and what's going on with it. This, listen, I know that sounds crazy, but that's how do I handle business with my bank if I don't talk to people from my bank? They don't call you. They will and they can. That's not the objective here. My point, what I'm saying to you, as a previous fraud agent, disconnect the phone, tell them thank you for the call if you choose to be kind, hang up if you don't, it's your prerogative. Log into whatever you do to pay your banking bills, your credit cards, your debit business, whatever you do to tag yourself into your bank. Call them is what I'm saying. Make sure you are connected to them. You can't trust that some random person calling you saying they're from Bank of America, Wells Fargo, USAA Bank, is who they are. And I'm going to go a step further and tell you why you can't trust that. Because I don't want to hear y'all argue me on this about, well, if it's on the phone, it comes up 800 number and it says Wells Fargo, I should talk. No, you shouldn't. Here's why. Here's why. I also had it happen to me last year, end of the year. I think it was American Express calling from American Express number. The guy was doing the same thing, talking about something on my account, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, sounds suspicious. I hung up. I'm going to call them. The funny thing about how good they're getting, just like today, Smooch had a phone call from her bank's number. The name, it seemed legitimate. When I had to call from American Express, the recording, thank you for calling American Express where we do da 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 da. And all of the prompts, press 1 to do this, sounded just like I was calling American Express. Baby, I wasn't calling American Express. It was one little thing the dude said about, I need to get, oh, he asked me for my full social security number. Baby, what? Baby, what? You want, what? You want my, across the globe, most businesses, most entities will ask you for the last 4. Some 6, some other numbers, like a VIN number on a card, they may ask for 8. The last 4 is universal. We know that. So when you get to ask me for my full social what? I'm like, baby, listen, I don't know who you think you're playing with. Find somebody else. Matter of fact, don't find nobody else. Leave people and their money alone. Find something else to do. Didn't give it to them. Call the bank. And clearly they assured me it wasn't them. They didn't call me. There's nothing going on in any of my accounts. All is well. So you have to be mindful. You have to know, I'm not going to say when not to talk to people. Just don't do it. Hang up and call into the business itself to know that you are connected to the business is what I'm saying. I'm going to go one more step further on this fraud thing. I'm not going to stay on it too long. I don't know how much space I have left on my camera. I've covered about 6 topics, so we're going to keep rolling. This is about a year, maybe 2 years ago. That's 2. Someone hit me up on my computer. I think it was an email link about a job. It seemed suspicious because it was one of those, we pay 25-something thousand million dollars an hour. When you know, people on a job, people make you go through training about fraud and phishing and all these things. Is it called phishing or phishing? Whichever one it's called. It looks like phishing. I think it's called phishing. Whatever. They just teach all these training things to look out for and how emails should look this way, not that way. If you've ever had a job that took you through them, you know what I'm talking about. Honey, listen. When you start doing typos and you ain't looking professional, that's first red flag number 1. And just other little things people be doing. I'm like, this I don't even want to talk about this, and I'm tired of talking about this fraud stuff, y'all. We're going to keep this topic going, though, because it's a headache just talking about people that don't have anything else to do but try to steal people's money. Anyway, it was about a job, and it was, of course, they're going to send me some equipment, but I've got to send them some money or something. No, that's not what we're doing. Anywho, I remember leading the guy on, making him think all was well, and I was falling for his BS, and then I said, I'm going to call the company Monday. to just confirm. If you're legitimate, you shouldn't have a problem with me calling Monday. I was already giving him the I got you, but without giving him the full I got you. He was like, oh, okay. Of course, he had to put out his chest. Okay, no problem. Call, and just get back with me on Monday. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll finish this interview Monday after I confirm you're legit. And of course, Monday I called the company. They said, oh my gosh, thanks for calling in. We've heard this so many times. It is not us. We don't do any of that. We have heard someone's out there with our logo on emails to people. Da da da. It's not us. None of what you said is us. We've had hundreds of these phone calls. So let me tell you what I did. Y'all gonna think I'm finna expose myself a little bit, cause I'm always on here just letting y'all know the Destiny that's got the OCD and the anxiety. I got a little bit of oomph with me, and I set records straight, and I cut family members off, and I block and delete people. Baby, I got a whole nother side that don't play when it comes to people trying to play in my face, cause that's where them Capricorn shorts been coming from lately. Listen, y'all, for real. I was so fed up with this guy because I had talked to him for like 2 days in email about this alleged interview and this job. And when I asked him certain questions, he couldn't answer. But I said, so you can't tell me whatever the questions were. This is like 2 years ago. You can't. I said, no. I said, but you're advertising a job that you want to hire for. And I asked him like 2 or 3 questions. I said, it's funny and fishy that you don't know the answer. I got a problem with that. That's when I told him, I'm going to call and make sure you're legit, because I don't understand why you can't answer questions about a job you're recruiting for. Right? So when I realized he was a fraudster, a scammer, baby, wasn't nothing pretty for him. Y'all don't laugh, but I know it's gonna be funny. I logged back into, I think it was WhatsApp. I don't even do WhatsApp. I don't even have a WhatsApp. It was something like WhatsApp, or was WhatsApp, and somehow I did it that one time to get connected to this job. Baby, when I tell you, I wore that man out. I wore his whole mental state of mind out. His mental capacity was screwed by the time he finished talking to me. I got in, and I had already composed several little messages I was going to send. So I had already worked them over the weekend. And I was hitting send. I was hitting send. I was hitting send, because I was filling him up with what I knew, what I found out, how I knew that everything was fraud. I mean, I laid in on the heavy, and I went in further and deeper, saying things like, you need to find a real job. You need to stop bothering and harassing people and trying to get people for their money. Find something better to do with your time, your life. I just went in. The man was like, oh, okay, ma'am. I said, no. And the first part was like me kind of going in like, okay, so yeah, I'm back and this, that, and the other. And I tried to act like crazy. We were going to continue the interview. And then I think it was something else I wanted to ask him about. Something maybe the company had told me that I knew he wouldn't have answers to. I said, okay, so let me just go ahead and expose you. And then while I'm going to expose me. I'm going to let you know who I am and how I get down, right? So I'm just laying into him. I gave him eye full, ear full, computer full, keyboard. I laid in. I leaned in, laid in. I sprawled out. This man eventually was like, okay, ma'am, please stop. I said, oh no, we're not going to stop now. You want to play. Let's play. I tongue lashed this man for 48 hours. And I say 48 hours because I did it until I got tired. Because when you play in my face, go over there and watch some of them Capricorn reels. It talks about don't play in our face. We got some stuff for you. And I gave it to him. 48 hours. I would say until I got tired. I really wasn't tired. I just stopped because common sense kicked in. You gave it to him. You gave him enough. Let up off of him. But baby, I do not play when you trying to play in my face about anything. I just don't. So it was seriously a matter of like 48 hours of me just going on and on. And I was doing it on purpose. I had said what I had to say in about 4 or 5 paragraphs, maybe not, because I'm a talker and I go in. But nonetheless, I went in and I was throwing it on extra layers of peanut butter because I wanted him to feel the impact of how many people he bothered, how many people he scammed, how many people probably wanted this equipment for a job and sent him the amount of money that he said sends him. And then once you get your first paycheck, they reimburse you. All this bullshackanaki, right? I laid in. I laid in for me, the person he already got, the people in the future he's probably going to get. I gave it to him for some of everybody. I did. So, I added that story to this. This story was just about awareness. Be mindful of people on the phone asking you for fraud, asking you for information that's going to lead to some fraudulent activity. But I had to share those stories because I remember, yeah, I did. That man was begging me, which was stupid. I'm laughing like he act like I had him by the throat. He act like I, took him by the hair and had him right here. I'm like, sir, just get off the computer. All you have to do is log out of the group chat or whatever we're in. He was sitting there just taking the tongue lashing. Ma'am, okay, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. And I'm doing like a foreign type of voice because the way he's typing, I could tell he was not, would have been speaking in a regular English speaking voice. He had some type of accent just via the words he was texting, right? Is what I'm thinking. So he just go, ma'am, please stop. Please stop. No. This is what you want to do. You wanted to come on my computer, contact me via email, and play games. What I'm telling you is you've contacted the master of games. Don't play with people. Y'all, let me get off this topic because I told you when I get into stuff, I'm supposed to get on this fraud topic so I wouldn't sound so upset about something. I told you when I get passionate, it comes across as I'm angry, but this was years ago. I'm not even angry about it. It's just a way to kind of edify other people. There's a way to handle people. Handle them. Deal with them. You got to. Shut it down. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do and just let people know, not today. When people are takeaways, when people are on your phone, don't give information. I don't care how they call your name. Hi, Jana. This is Mary. Are you still at 44582 living with your mother? You be like, how you know all that? You're this thing. I live with my mama. Who are you? Sometimes we think we're doing the right thing by answering their question, then ask them why they want to know. Answer nothing. Give no information. Hi, Lisa. I'm calling from Wells Fargo, and I see you still have 3 accounts with us, right? A fraudster gonna tap into your stuff and already know that. You may have 3 accounts, and you would be like, well, they could have said 2 accounts and been wrong. They could have said 5 accounts and been wrong. Fraudsters will get in your account and take over your account as if they're you. I did fraud detection. Trust me, I know. We've called the fraudster to confirm transactions. We've called fraudsters, and they verify date of birth, social, because they already got all your information. So be mindful. That's my takeaway. Get on the phone and answer no questions unless obviously it's someone you know. I don't care they portray to be a business. There's many fake people pretending to be businesses. Hang up, call the business, the entity itself to make sure you are linked to them, especially if you do business with them. You pay a credit card bill, you have to log on to an account and pay it. Log on to that account to know it's your account and go to contact us. Make sure you're speaking to the people who say they're calling you. That's all I'm saying. Teach your senior citizens, your family members that are older, if they're not senior age yet. Teach your young adults that you may have in your home that's new, upcoming, fresh with bank accounts. Spread the word. Talk to no one on your phone, giving out information, personal or any other. When they call me and ask me, am I who I am, I ain't telling you my name. Who wants to know? I won't even confirm my name. That ain't even that personal because there's a whole bunch of us in the world. Why you want to know who are you? You don't call my phone asking me questions. You call, give me information so I can then determine if I want to speak to you. And even then, my information that I give will be very limited. I don't trust these people on these phones. That's it, y'all. Have a great one. Drop down in the comments. Tell me what you think about that topic. Have you been frauded? Do you know these tips already? Do you have any that I didn't mention? Please drop down in the comments. Drop down in the comments and mind your business if my hands ashy. Have a good one, y'all. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Keep watching. See you all next time.